Life coaching is a relationship that a coach has with their clients, which is centered around learning, increasing awareness, and taking action towards whatever larger picture or the big goal or the small goals that you have. So, the very crux of coaching is to increase your self awareness so that you take better actions. So let's say if by whatever automatic mode you are in, you have a way of doing things a certain way and you keep repeating it and you are going to get X amount of success. When you work with a life coach on different levels, the amount of success that you can experience, whether that success is more emotional fulfillment or material expansion or whatever it is, because success definition can be so different, whatever that x factor is, it just amplifies by 10x. That is the basic logic behind why a person goes to a life coach. And that is why in today's video we are going to discuss a very important life coaching technique, which is very simple but very powerful. So if you're a coach and you're wanting to facilitate this technique to your clients, this video will be really helpful for you. Or if you are a normal person who just wants to, amplify the changes or want to make certain changes happen in your life, then this particular thing will be very, very helpful to you. So this is something that we call as future pacing, and everybody who has went through a coach training knows about future pacing. But the main thing in coaching is how do you implement it, because most of the people have this problem in implementation. People by themselves are not able to bridge this gap of whatever big dream they are looking at and how it is translating in the real life. And there is the place where coaching can be very, very helpful. So when we say, what is it that you really want, and we ask this to people, most of the times people don't know what they really want. The ideas are vague, the ideas are conflicting. There are a lot of conflict between, what is it that they want and who they are right now in the present and who they were in the past. And a lot of times, whatever the person is wanting, there is a lot of conflict that goes on internally. So when we ask this question, like for example, if you're giving an interview and somebody asks you, where do you see yourself after 5 years? We give an answer that is pleasing to the interviewer. So in the coaching session, you don't have to please your coach. You have to give the most honest, whatever is coming from your heart to the coach. So when I was starting and I started to upload my YouTube videos, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But the only thing that I knew was I'm very good with my communication skills, and I have this urge to help people change their perspectives, because once you start looking at the world differently, your world becomes different. I had this inherent knowing inside of me, but I didn't know this process is called life coaching. So I just went on the path, and as I went on the path started to get clear. But I had this one thing which I could pace myself according to the future that I want. I was seeing a future where I'm able to reach out to people, help them change their perspective into something that is more useful, more resourceful. Even if I did not have the step-by-step process to do that, I had a dream. I had a big picture. So I personally love to call this the big picture. So this future pacing can be done in a couple of ways. One of the ways that I ask my clients to do is that we do a role play where I become their current self, where they are right now, and they become their future self. And I call them, like in the session, we do this role play of being on a phone call. And I ask as a current self that, how is my future going to look like? What is it going to be like? And this is one of the best things, that happens in the coaching sessions, that there are so many answers that just come out of your own awareness that you are in. That is what is the main discussion. What is it that you want? So in the future, you need to define, even if it is not very, very clear, but you need to define something that your heart is really pulled towards. That is called future pacing. And then you sit with your coach and decide what would be your next steps to make that dream into a reality, to turn that dream into reality. Now, a lot of people, they talk about their dreams and tell me about whatever their visions are, ambitions are, and then they have a question. The question that, is this really possible, Rutuja? Whatever I'm saying is too ambitious, but is that really possible? Now, here I want to say that, if your ambition is not scaring you a little bit, it's not a real ambition. If I say, I just want to post 3 videos in a week, which is very much doable for me. It's nothing ambitious as such. But if I say that I want to coach 300 people the next year, it is an ambitious goal that I've given to myself. And it is completely okay to give yourself that goal and then say that, oh, is this really possible? So instead of that question, is this really possible? Let's reframe that question into asking, how do I make it possible? And this coaching frame, I learned from one of my friends actually, who's not a coach, but I was telling him once that, I told about one of the dreams that I have, and I said, is that really possible? And he ended up saying that next time you set it and say that, how do I make this possible? Because humans are capable to make very, very big things possible. The only thing is the matter of time, the matter of strategy and energy, that how much energy do you have and what is the direction that you are channelizing that energy to, and to make this three aligned to each other. That is the work of the client and the coach relationship. So instead of doubting yourself and saying, is that really possible? Can I really do it? So your current self may not be really capable of doing it. And accepting that is complete honesty. There's nothing wrong with it. But saying that I will never be able to do it in the future is absolutely not true. Not true at all. And people all who say, this is the thing, this you cannot be doing this, you won't be able to do this. And this voices in our head become so loud because they are looking at your past self. The people who know you from a very long time in the past, they can only tell you this is what you tried 100 times and you were still not able to do it. You can take it as a feedback, that's okay, but that doesn't mean you'll not be able to do it in the future as well. That is why coaching is a fantastic approach, because it talks about the future, not so much about the past. So you can really, get some nuggets from the past that you have done. For example, whenever there is a new situation in front of me, and if I'm getting overwhelmed, so I go to my past and I look at the situations which were completely new, and how that Rutuja, who was so energetic, who would just try to figure things out. She would experiment, she would fail, she would learn, and she would do things out. So that is a good reference point for me, a good way for me to look at those things and then implement it in my life right now. So the same situation, where the past version of me, who used to try 100 things and then she used to learn and experiment and grow out of it. The same situation can be looked at like this. You've always been a failure. You've tried so many things and then उसमें से कुछ भी नहीं किया and you're doing something else. So ये दो अलग perspectives है मेरे past story को देखने के, and your past is really a story that you're telling to yourself. So if I want, and if I'm in a bad mood, I can call myself a failure, a confused person, a jack of all trades, master of none. But if I be honest, that's not my voice. That's not really my voice. And that's not true as well. Whenever I meet my friends, what they always say is, Rutuja, school time se we knew you were going to do something like this, which would be completely unconventional, because you were trying so many different things, and you have always been this person who have given people perspectives. So if you look at that part of your story, you know that this thing that you're wanting to become is already there within you. So the only question is, what is the core of you, who you are, and what is the vision that you have for yourself? And then you describe that vision, and then you build the steps to it. One more way of doing future pacing is through journaling. If you're not working with a coach, you just sit, ground yourself, take a few deep breaths, and then you invite your higher self into your conscious mind. And once you've invited your higher self, then write a letter to your present self, that what is it, my higher self, dear higher self, what is it that you want me to know right now? And I would do this when I was the chairperson of Social Welfare and Development Committee, where there were, numerous challenges from the point where the interviews were going to happen. There was a lot of politics that had already internally started, and I had never confronted or faced politics, and I was really feeling weak and not knowing what to do, and so many other things. We feel that at students level, in college level, there are no political situations, but there were, from the same people that you worked with, your friends, and that at that age you are also very sensitive about your friends. So to navigate this whole thing, to be at that leadership position and execute my leadership well, I learned that, and that time I was not a coach. I just learned to invite my higher self, and I would write letters to myself to get guidance. So I understood after that that the true wisdom is inside of me. Sometimes I will be able to tap into that wisdom on my own, and at times I would be needing a coach or a friend or a therapist or somebody who can help me tap into that wisdom, and I do that. I most of the time look at it from my own perspective, and if I'm not able to for some reason, I am completely okay with seeking help of the coach that I work with. So it is so important that you know what is it that you want in the future, and you need to bring that future into the present and start working towards it, and you need to go full out in that. A lot of times what happens is that people, they are not either working. There can be only two states that you can exist in. Either you are working towards that goal, or you're not working, you're taking rest, which is also okay. There are some days you want to take rest and not engage. So either you're working or you're not working. Both the states are okay. All big athletes, everybody exists in this states, high performers. But people, 99% people who fail in whatever they are trying to do are the people who are existing in this area of constant thinking about it. You know, and constant thinking about something and not acting on it or not resting, if you're not in that zone, it's going to drain a huge amount of energy, so much energy that you'll feel exhausted, you'll not know what to do, right? So that is why that intention, that purposefulness is very, very important, and that is a part of each and every coaching session that we have. And know that all the wisdom that you are looking for and all the guidance you're looking for is already inside of you. A coach like me, or a teacher or a mentor, anyone, is able to help you tap into that wisdom, is able to help you open your mind to various possibilities and various options. And this is quite an expanded state of living in the world. So if you have a dream and if you are feeling that you are getting overwhelmed by it, or you just want to work with me to understand the core of you so that you can create that beautiful life for yourself, you can book a session with me. You'll find the link in the description box. See you in the next video, and if you like what you see on my channel, don't forget to subscribe.